It is very common for thoughts to think about decisions that you made when you've transitioned out of something, a relationship, a job, a location, a city, into a situation which appears to be worse, or at least isn't pleasant. You can't be maybe sure if it's worse, but it's certainly not pleasant. And there can be this urge to beat yourself up or to simply comment how you made a mistake. And there's a biological and adaptive reason to do this, and I say adaptive because it's Tomasic and adaptive child, Sphere 8, on the Tree of Life. But is it really useful? Because if you've already made the decision and you have no time machine, you can't go back and make a different decision. So therefore, it's not really useful, it's not really compassionate, it's not really constructive to think, oh gosh, I should have stayed where I was. Because you didn't. You didn't stay where you were. You did the best that you could, made the best possible decision that you could. And you may not be in a position to make another move, or you may be too tired to do so, whether it's a job, relationship, location. And so can you have compassion for yourself inside of the fact that a choice was made, you're not happy with the results from that choice, and you're unable to make a new choice. And when we're in this limbo, the mind may try to figure out, how can I create some meaning, or how can I have a win, or how can I get an attaboy, or how can I have some conditions met. And it could be minor, like some dessert, or it could be major, like some kind of side project. Or it may come out as anger, right? So desire or anger. This is all free child, Sphere 7, reacting to the blame for the adaptation that you made by the choice that was made. Now, the choice that was made may not have been an adaptive choice or a Tomasic choice. It may have been a Rajasic one. In fact, if a choice is made that's bold, probably there is a bit of Rajasic energy in there. So, what we're interested in is what card can guide us through finding self-acceptance. Just being okay that maybe things aren't perfect. Maybe it would have been better to stay put. Maybe a different move, a different change would have been better rather than the one that was made. But we're here now in this present moment, maybe only for a few minutes, and there's a new you that comes along, maybe only a few seconds. So to really be grounded in the present and surrender to, yeah, there's a lot I don't understand, there's a lot I got to figure out, there has been a lot of dissatisfaction. In the actual present moment, I submit to you that there's no dissatisfaction, because in order for there to be dissatisfaction, you need to have a story. Because if you have a victim story like, oh gosh, I made this huge mistake, now I'm in this mess, or oh, how am I going to figure this thing out? And I associate this often with a Tuesday, Martes in Spanish. Martes in Spanish, Mars. And that desire to fight, and that desire to flee, right? It's like an army, Mars, god of war. The hope is that this card will be guiding me toward just being accepting of what is.
If we are fully present without expectations, judgments are trying to fix, then it's pure yin emptiness, like the bardo, like the cup held by the king, the container, welcoming emotions. We embody to humbly appreciate not knowing at the call and making this moment about this moment of the trial. If not, we're going to need unconditional self-acceptance and unconditional positive self-regard during the reboot at the fall. Feelings exist to communicate a met or unmet need. So with a client, friend, or partner, what I heard you say was, what makes sense to me about that is, this conveys to the other person that you matter. To emphasize and empathize, you can say, I imagine you must feel blank, whatever. Often a feeling goes away once we're 100% present with it, non-judgmentally, without agenda. You don't get to choose what you feel, only to feel it or not. If you can't be with it, that is compassion, it's self-abandonment. Awareness tries, successfully or not, to go elsewhere by thinking of something else or intellectualizing it. The feelings can't be integrated if nobody is home, so if you can, be home for yourself and the feelings. Many of life's problems begin to be resolved the moment we focus on them. Therapy can be the place where, with the therapist, the client gets to hold space for the emotions and do that focusing.